Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Southern Dirt. My name is Summer, and in this video I'll be sharing my Central Florida Zone 9 garden. It has been so hot lately. We have been having record-breaking temperatures here in Central Florida. We've been going through a drought, which has put a lot of stress on our garden. And just recently we have had an overabundance of rain, which is making whatever we had left over for the summer sick. So I'm going to show you what we're doing to kind of work with those plants and keep them going as long as we can. I'm also going to show you what I'm doing with some of the weeds on our patio. And before we jump in the video, I want to let you know that GreenStalk Vertical Garden is running a 10-year anniversary sale. I own 9 of them and absolutely love them. There are these vertical gardens you can see in the background. They just came out with 2 anniversary colors. One's a blueberry and luscious green. I'll show one on the screen for you. They're really pretty colors, and these gardens are great for anybody, no matter what level of gardening you are at. And also, if you have a small space, these are perfect. These are great patio gardens. You can grow vegetables, herbs, and flowers in them. I absolutely love them. The GreenStalk Vertical Gardens offer a 5-year warranty, and they are an American-made product, small family business. I absolutely love these products, and I am an affiliate of their products. I will drop the affiliate link in the description below where you can save $10 off your order, or you can use code SD10 at checkout. So here's our entryway to our garden. Our queen's wreath is kind of getting overgrown here. About 3 weeks ago, I got into some poison ivy really bad, or a poison oak, some kind of poisonous plant, while we were picking elderberries with the family, and I didn't know it till a couple days later. Anyways, it got so bad, I had to end up going to get a steroid shot because it started to creep up on my face. I couldn't sleep. It was awful. It was the worst case I have ever had in my entire life, and that kept me out of the garden because the doctor said, do not go in the heat because it will fester it up and it'll keep it going. So I had to stay out of the garden. And you can see we have weeds on our concrete. We have weeds everywhere, sick plants, but I have been able to come outside in the evenings a little bit with the kids and kind of do a little bit. So you guys are gonna have to bear with me as I go through this garden. We're gonna start over here, and I'm gonna show you how all my GreenStalk vertical gardens are doing, but you can kind of just see as much heat and rain that we have had. We still have a lot of stuff that's healthy and growing as I pan through our garden. Over here is our little strawberry garden, and these strawberries, guys, it is June. Oh, it's almost July, and here I am with strawberries. Not only do I have strawberries, but I have blooms and some more strawberries coming. These are called ever-bearing strawberries, and this is going to be the only strawberry variety I ever grow moving forward. I've just struggled with different varieties, and you never really know what variety you're purchasing at the store. You don't know if they're great for your area or not. But I do want to show you something that is cool that's happening right now. See, they're dropping these new plants, which you can actually put in soil and grow more strawberry plants. So what has happened here, I've been just putting them in these empty pockets down here. And check this out. See that? They are growing roots. So I've just, as these start to grow, I try to drop them down in these empty pockets and allow them to grow. Now, I've actually seen people hang cups and laundry clips to hold the cups on these GreenStalk vertical gardens, and I think I'm going to try it out because I have so many of these. I won't have to buy strawberries next year if I start allowing these little drops. I don't know what they're called, but check this out. It's like a brand new plant. Don't pull these off. I used to pull these off. So definitely you can save some money, and look at that. Now, don't make the same mistake I did. I used to cut these off and try to plant them. It doesn't work that way. So just go ahead and get a cup, clip it here, and see how those grow, and you'll have more plants for the next season. But I'm just so impressed. Look at, I've got blooms coming. So a lot of these pockets are empty because, of course, we went into that big drought, and not only that, we had so much heat. A lot of these vegetables were fall vegetables anyways, so we just kind of plugged some flowers in there, and in the meantime, because we are getting pretty close to fall and it'll be time to plant again anyways. So these are some leeks in here that are growing wonderfully. It's past the time to harvest these, but again, I've been inside not able to really do a whole lot, but I'll be harvesting these soon. Got some flowers in there. Over here is my most favorite garden right now. This is our herb and flower garden, and it's right under my patio, so as we are entertaining, it is here. It looks beautiful. It's easy for me to access because I put it right outside the door where our kitchen is. So if I need herbs, I got them super close to me. We've got some sage and basil. We got some pollinators in here. I've got some oregano, some Juani Llama back there. We've got every herb that you can think of growing here, plus we popped some flowers in it, which I really love the color. And this is Glacier Blue, GreenStalk vertical garden. So I really like that color. I'm a teal girl. I love everything teal. So that was the closest color they had to teal. We also have another one out there. That's our salsa garden that we have growing. Another thing I like growing out of the GreenStalk garden is these beautiful plants. They are called, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but a variegated baby sunrose. Look at these little flowers. And when I bought this plant, it was really small. I didn't even know what it was. It just kind of looked cool. And I planted it up here. And ever since then, it has just been cascading down. Look at how pretty that is. I mean, it comes all the way down here. And my daughters and I have been propagating these to be able to put them all over our garden. We just love them. We didn't even know they flowered. And we're so happy they do. But that's something really pretty we've enjoyed growing in our GreenStalk garden. So I'm going to bring you over here to our 7-tier GreenStalk vertical garden. We have strawberries on top, and then we have planted some, I don't even know what this is, but I put just a small little piece in here, and then now all of a sudden it's just going wild, and it's jumping into this tier. So we might actually remove this. I don't know what plant this is called, so if one of you guys know. I have this in a pot that I got on clearance at like Lowe's, and my daughters loved it. They've been propagating it, but nothing has grown like this big. So I really think that it just is growing well in the GreenStalk. And I want to show you this cucumber. Check this out. It's beyond harvesting, so we're going to harvest it right now. But look at this. I've never been successful with cucumbers, but check it out. Look at this. Look at how beautiful it is. And I've got some more flowers already going on. Probably what I'll do next time with planting my cucumbers is I'll most likely start them at the bottom and add the trellises on top, the top part, and just kind of let them do their thing. Or plant on the bottom and then let them crawl along here and trellis over this way. But this has been really fun, and we've harvested quite a bit of cucumbers. And I found one of them just tucked in the other day here, and it was so neat. It was like an Easter egg hunt. I didn't even know it was there. Again, we have a baby sunrose over here. Look at it, it's going crazy. And we have all kinds of different flowers here. I've got some herbs growing. And I don't know what flowers these are, but I am actually propagating a lot of these. I know they're inexpensive plants, but they do look just beautiful. I never have to do anything to them. If they get too big, I'll trim them back. But their flowers are constantly flowering throughout the year, no matter what time of the year they are. So these are really pretty in the GreenStalk vertical garden, and just pretty to have anywhere. I've got some onions growing in here. I also planted some garlic somewhere. And that's new for me this year. I think I've got it in some other planters. But the 7-tier, you can plant pretty much everything other than like a larger plants. You can grow more things in the 7-tier, but the pockets aren't as deep as the 5-tier. I prefer the 5-tier because then I'm not limited, and I can plant larger vegetables that have a bigger root system, and that is just what I prefer to grow in. But if you want to grow more flowers and herbs or strawberries, this is the perfect tower from GreenStalk vertical garden. Now we're going to go over to this garden. This is mainly my summer garden here. Look at this lavender. My kids have been saving a lot of herbs and flowers from our garden and selling them at a local shop in town. They're making organic soaps and different things. And I will leave that information in the description below, but they also ship. So if you're interested in any of that, it's kind of a homeschool project. I'm just trying to teach them how to run your own business, and especially from growing things in your backyard and enjoying what you're doing. So they're having fun with that. But my oregano really needs to be trimmed out and used. So I'll most likely come out here and trim it and give it to my chickens, maybe dry some of it. But one thing I've really enjoyed growing this year, which I've never grown, is look at these peppers. They are just full of color and they're just doing so good. And I know I asked in my last video and I got all kinds of different pepper names, like chili pepper, Thai pepper seemed to be one of the pepper names. I was just given seeds and really didn't know what it was. They are super hot, and what I've been doing is picking them when they get red and allowing them to dry. And what I'm going to just do is use those for like red pepper flakes for any recipes, and maybe even get into throwing some vinegar in there and trying to make some sauce. I don't know. So if you have some really nice sauce recipes, please don't keep them to yourself and drop them in the comment section below. I'd also love to know what your favorite pepper is, because so these peppers here are my favorite, and they are banana peppers. They're sweet banana peppers. I love them in salads. I love just eating them raw off the plant with some ranch dressing. Anytime the kids come over to the house, the kids even love picking them off of my GreenStalk, and those are a thing I grow every year, and they do much better in the GreenStalk because I can stake them here with their supports, and they just grow so well. I don't have to worry about them falling over or an animal getting them. And down here we have just some regular peppers. I've been getting some weird white stuff. You see that? Some white pockets on these pepper plants, and I'm not quite sure what they are. So I've never experienced them before. So if somebody can identify what this is, I've been trying to spray with neem. Here they are. Neem every 5 days. And I've tried to just spray it off with a hose. I got most of them, but they're still present. So I'm curious to know what that is. So if anybody knows, let me know. I've got some more peppers here. And I've got some peppers down here. See the little white thing? So peppers are doing great. I've got some leeks over here that are beyond ready to harvest. And everything's honestly, with the lack of rain that we've had and just the heat, the peppers should be looking better than they do. They're really struggling compared to what they have in the past, but we're still harvesting some food. So look at this one. So over here is my potato garden. I can't wait to show you guys here the next day or so. You will see my potato harvest of these top tiers. I left the sweet potatoes growing at the bottom because I felt like maybe I needed a little more time. I could have certainly left more time for the other potatoes, but that was really fun harvesting those. So make sure you go check out my short videos if you haven't already, and wait for that one because it'll be definitely fun. The kids and I harvest that. But my sweet potato, look how much it's grown, and I can't wait to put a video together for that. So over here is my basket weave. And that's just a new texture that they are offering with GreenStalk Vertical Garden. Now this thing looked beautiful about a month ago, and of course I haven't been able to get back here and trim it up or remove dead heads, but we'll be doing that soon. But right now I've got different variegated colored plants and flowers. So this was just strictly my flower garden. I've lost a couple plants due to the heat, and this is probably one of my favorite towers in the garden. Just the look of, it's just like a country Southern Living magazine type of look with that basket weave with the pink flowers. So I really enjoyed putting that together. I also have some of those in my short videos for you to see. So over here is strictly southern peas we have growing in here, and these are black eye peas, and check them out up top here. It is time, oh man, I got aphid infestation here. It is certainly time to harvest these. At the bottom, you can tell that there is not as lush as the top ones. It's because when we were gone on vacation, a deer came in here and chomped all 4 of these tiers down to nothing. But the good thing is I sprayed them with a garlic and foliar fed them with some really stinky great fertilizer, which I love, Neptune's Harvest, which I'll drop my affiliate link in the description below. We've been using them for a couple of years now and love it, but the deer don't like to eat that, or smell it. So if they come up and nibble on your plants, they will not come back, especially if you keep up with that. So these are now coming in pretty good since I've been home and spraying. I've got some flowers coming, but just look at that. This is the perfect way to grow peas. I don't have to get in the dirt, and here it all is, perfectly growing. It looks beautiful, and this has been a brand new thing I have done with our GreenStalk vertical gardens. Here is my salsa garden, and of course tomatoes have been struggling with this drought. My tomatoes in the garden have completely fried up, like to a crisp. Even my Everglades tomato, which is right over there, you can see a little bit of tomatoes, but that is a tomato plant that will actually survive the Florida heat and thrive in it. Well, not in the heat that we've had recently. So most all the tomato plants in my GreenStalk salsa garden over here have perished. And I do have actually a few plants that are surviving that I plan to just cut back and let them come again, which is what I've done already a couple times this year and got lots of food in return. So here is my pepper plant, the same one that I'm growing in my other GreenStalk, which is doing great. I want to do an entire GreenStalk with these. I don't know if I could keep up with picking them or harvesting them, but they do grow absolutely well. So if you are a gardener and you love peppers, these are perfect. GreenStalk vertical gardens grow peppers amazingly. And up here I have bunching onions. And if I would have known they get all crazy and huge, I probably wouldn't have planted so many. I probably would have thinned them out a little bit better. I also have in the front, we have just regular onions right here that we're growing. So I think I have like 4 pockets of just bulb onions. And then the rest were bunching onions. And the reason I planted these is because I couldn't find any bulbing onions. They weren't ready yet. So I got anxious and I just went ahead and planted some of these. And you can basically cut the tops and use them just like onions while you're waiting on your bulbs. Or you can actually cut the tops of your bulbs and use those just like you would onions. I got some peppers growing here. Even some of my peppers have been getting burnt spots on them, like fried spots on them. So I've been trying to pick them a little bit earlier than usual. And look at this dill. It's beautiful. I've never grown dill. I have some in my garden also in the ground. I'll show you here in a little bit. But look at how beautiful this is. So I have shown you all my GreenStalk vertical gardens. Now I'm going to show you our in-ground garden in our raised beds. I do have another GreenStalk vertical garden sitting. I didn't want to put it together because I did get it during Mother's Day sale, and I'm going to wait to plant that with fall vegetables. But over here we have our Vego garden beds, and we have some beautiful sweet potatoes growing out of here. Look at, they're going onto the concrete over here, pavement. These were actually planted late last season and they weren't quite ready to pull up. So I just left them because I just liked how they flowed out of my out of my raised bed. And now this year, I can't wait to harvest them because I believe we've got some good sweet potatoes in there. Right here, I have some ginger growing. I planted some ginger back there a while ago and it just wasn't popping up, so I was worried it maybe had dried up, it was too hot, and they both now are coming up at the same time. So if you have ginger, we actually had just bought some from the store and you planted it, and this year we had some bulbs left over from last year from the ones we planted and we planted them, and that was so fun. I actually have a video on our turmeric harvest, and we'll do one here soon on our ginger harvest and how to do that. We have some oregano back here. We have some Juani Llama here, and all this really needs to be trimmed back. It's kind of overgrowing everything. I also have some basil here. Ooh, look at this. Dahlia, so pretty. So this is a dahlia we recently got for Mother's Day. I just planted back here, and here's my other ginger plant back here, and my kale plant from like 2 years now, just growing here in the middle. My husband, this is like a Buddha bamboo, I don't know. We bought it for our other property, and he was worried about the drought, so it's sitting in my garden. It's a big eyesore in my garden, so it's usually not there. Over here is our butterfly pea vine. My girls have been harvesting the flowers and saving them for teas. As you can see right here, you harvest the flowers and they make this beautiful antioxidant tea that is purple and will turn this beautiful blue when you add lemon to it. I also put a video, a short video out on how you can do that. And if you're interested in buying the flowers or the seeds, my daughters are selling those. So I give you all the information in the description below. Over here, I had a really sad collard greens, but if you go back and rewind to what they looked like earlier in the fall, they were just luscious and beautiful. We have been struggling very bad with whiteflies. I can't get rid of them. We do everything organically here, and even if I'm spraying once every 7 days with neem oil, they still come back. I just think there's just so many, and we've had whiteflies in the past, but not this bad. Are any one of you struggling with whiteflies? And if you have a better solution for whiteflies, please let me know. I do know that collard greens and kale struggle in the summer, and a lot of times some of our plants die because of the heat, and that's okay. They're a fall vegetable. I have a collard green tree from I don't know how many years ago. It's still growing, and it's because it's under this big oak tree. It doesn't get the heat pressure like the rest of my garden does. And we definitely have some heat pressure in this garden over here. I planted some garlic in here randomly. We have some rosemary, and I had a lot of onions in here earlier. And we're just kind of going to get this ready for fall here soon. And I cannot wait to show you guys this plant over here. So I have grown cotton for the first time this year, and I was so sad when it looked like a deer may have stepped on this plant. But when I came out here to see that it was like dying, I was even more upset. But then, check this out. I have my first cotton. Look at that. Y'all, I was so excited. I was freaking out. And I went and grabbed my kids, and they were freaking out. So I'm curious, is this what the plant looks like when the cotton pods start popping? Or these are leaning pretty bad. Or did a deer or armadillo come and dig in its roots? Is that why it's dying? I don't know. But these are still healthy. So please let me know. But this has been really cool. And we're going to use these for decorations in the house when they do open up and fluff up. So that has been fun and something new that we have never done before. Over here, we have some struggling Seminole pumpkin plants. And I love growing Seminole pumpkins, but with this heat we've been experiencing, they kind of got off to a later start. Finally, we got some rain that is helping them grow, but it also has them getting sick. We've got powdery mildew all over all of them, and I've not been able to get out here and manage the powdery mildew, especially when it rains a lot. If you're spraying your garden with a foliar feed or a chemical or like neem oil or anything for the garden to keep pests away, it's going to wash off after a heavy rain. So we've had nothing but heavy rains. And so what I've been doing is using a product from Neptune's Harvest, which any plant that is struggling, that has blight, powdery mildew, I'll drop the link for that product in this description below, but you can save $5 on any of the fertilizers that I use. They're all organic. It's an awesome small business company, of course, made in America. All the products that they're harvesting are from our oceans. You know, the leftover scraps from crab shells and lobster shells and fish carcasses. It's really neat. Their products really work. That's all I use on my garden, and I absolutely love them. But what I use is a spray, and I foliar feed these. And what it will do is it will stop the powdery mildew at some point and allow the plant to grow. So I could go behind here and just cut off some of these whiter plants or whiter leaves, especially the yellowing ones, to kind of push more energy through. So stay tuned till the next episode and we'll see what's going on with these guys. Hopefully they'll survive. They have powdery mildew really bad. Over here we have some kale plants. These ones basically are dying over here on the end. We got another Seminole pumpkin here. I just popped some flowers in here. I didn't want to put a lot of stuff in ground because I knew our heat, we were just struggling with the heat and the drought. And I love growing in the GreenStalk vertical garden, so I'm trying to put most of the items that we eat in our GreenStalk gardens. They're so much easier for me to harvest and work with. Over here we have a tomato plant. I can't even remember the variety, who gave me this plant. So if you're there, Andrea, ask Levi what plant did he give me, because this is from him. They're so sweet. They dropped off a plant and some seeds, and we've been going back and forth on what's good and what's growing in our GreenStalks. A lot of fun. And here's my Everglades tomato. It should not look like this. And the deer, when they came in and ate my beans, they ate most of this plant. So this guy's pretty rough. These actually grow better back behind my chicken coop and my backyard garden, which we have back there, with me not even touching it. Letting God just take care of growing that plant. They do so much better. And they're pretty invasive. Like if I let tomatoes drop, we're gonna have Everglades tomatoes all over the place in the garden. Here's some cosmos over here. And I've been letting zinnias just kind of pop up wherever from just volunteers. Last year, I don't even have to plant zinnias anymore because they always just pop up. You plant them once and you're gonna have them coming back again at some point. Both these tomato plants died. Look at all these zinnias coming up here. And here's our comfrey plants. This is where we can make some free fertilizer from plants. I did a video short on how you can do that. So that's been really fun. Oh my. It was just a couple days ago that I checked this and dumped it. Wow. I mean, we've been getting like heavy 2 inches a day for I don't know how long. So there was a point where I just really wanted to give up after I got my poison ivy and the heat was so bad, and then we got the rain coming. I honestly wanted to say throw in the towel and just start in fall, but we still have a lot of great things growing out here. Over here I have what's left of a butternut squash. It's really sad. The deer came in here and I actually saw a deer eating my butternut squash off of here. So that was really frustrating. I got a lot of weed work to do behind my blueberries and on this grass here. So that, I think, finishes up this garden. Oh, over here is some tobacco leaves or tobacco plants. And these have been fun. This is something I have not grown yet, but look, you can see that, those black spots. If you ever see that, that means there is a caterpillar present, and look, there's holes everywhere. So what you want to do is start looking on the back of your leaves for a caterpillar. And if you got it really bad, you want to spray with BT, which I have all the products that I use in my garden in the description below. I've got Amazon links and affiliate links. I don't do sponsored videos or anything. I just share the products that I actually love and use. I don't want to steer you away from things that, hey, I'm sponsored by this, and then you buy it and you don't like it and blame me. Because these are just the products I have used and trusted and love and know that works for me. So you can find all that in the description below. Recently I planted some zinnias here just to have some color, because these blanket flowers are looking pretty rough. We're most likely going to pull those soon. I don't know. We keep having new flowers pop up here and there, so it's kind of hard to like pull them all. Oh, and here's my collard green tree. It's like almost tall as me. It would be if I didn't let it bend there. But this has been fun. So I didn't buy like something that said collard green tree. It was just a collard green, a southern collard green. And I just allowed it to continue to grow. And usually they die. And because of this tree, it is going strong, and I just staked it off, and we now have a collard tree, and keeps producing for us. Ooh, it's hot. I also popped in some pollinators. I'm trying to put more color in the ground. I want to get away from growing in the ground. If I could do it all over, I wish I had the money to start with raised beds and vertical gardens. It makes it so much easier on your back. So much easier, because we deal with nematodes in the ground here, and they can run havoc on your roots and just suck the nutrients out. But I also have a product I use to help combat those in the description below. We have another tobacco plant here. I've got some more dill growing here. And then we have some onions growing here beyond the time to harvest them, but I'm just kind of letting them do their thing. I've harvested everything, all my root vegetables out of my 10-hour garden, which means I get 10 hours of light there. That means the ground is going to be hot, especially with this heat. Over here, I got this oak tree that shades most of the day, so some of my root vegetables are struggling, but they're still growing, so they're not leaned over. And if you ever want to know how to harvest the onion and know when it's ready to harvest, I also have a short video of that too. So I hope you guys go check out that. And I think I pretty much showed you guys what I've got growing and what's surviving in the garden. And I wanted to really offer you some more tips on what we're doing. A lot of the plants that are struggling, we are trimming them back. And we could be watering twice a day, but I'm not doing that. Our timer does not set us up to do that. I mean, it can, but it has to be a 12-hour period of time. And really, if you wanted to help your garden, watering it a couple short times a day, or even a few times a day, especially if you're gardening in the ground and you have mulch down, it just can really heat things up. Now, don't do that in the fall. You only want to do that in the hot summer. So right now we are watering our gardens for about 40 minutes, and we do it at the hottest part of the day. We are on drip, so if you have over spray irrigation, do not do that, because what will happen is you can burn your plants. So we kind of have a slow flow on our GreenStalk vertical gardens, and then we're watering for about 40 minutes, and that seems to be doing okay. We can definitely play along. And also, if you are on an automatic irrigation and you have a full day of rain, make sure you are rain delaying. If not, your plants will get extremely, extremely sick. Whew, it is so hot out here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have learned something along the way in this video. Thank you so much for following me this long. I'd love to know how long you've been following me. I can't remember how many years I've been doing this, but a long time ago I dipped my hands into gardening and absolutely loved it. It became my passion, and now I get to share with you guys, and you listen, because not many of my friends care about gardening, and I love learning. It's something that you can never stop learning. There's always some plant, some new product, something new that will happen in the garden, and I just really love learning from you guys too, because I'm always asking questions, And if you ever see something in my garden where you're like, oh, Summer, you need some help with that, try this. Please don't keep it to yourself, because that's how I grow as a gardener. And please share this video with your friends if you found it helpful. Ooh. And thank you guys so much for buying products through my affiliate links. That helps me invest back into my garden to do more things for you and to help support my small family business. And we just love that you guys continue to watch. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in the description below. And we'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, I wanted to show you what we're doing for our weeds on our pavers. As you can see, they're just everywhere. We don't like to use chemicals in our garden. And this is a sheet of bisqueen. And it's a thicker bisqueen. This is actually what I used to use to cover my gardens whenever we had a frost advisory, but we now have these really nice frost covers from GreenStalk Vertical Garden, and they work much better. They're easier to store than this bisqueen. But basically you want to do this at the beginning of the day when it's hot and the sun is shining, and leave it there for the day. And if you need to put anchors on each side so it doesn't blow away, which I'm about to do, it works wonders, and it works, I promise. And you don't have to worry about putting chemicals down. And if you guys want to know why I found out this works, because we used this material for a slip and slide, and I left it on the grass in our yard, which then killed the whole grass. Needless to say, it would be a perfect way to start a garden area. So if you have grass and you want to kill your grass because you want to start a garden, this would be a great option, and you don't have to bring in a bunch of heavy equipment like we did, and you can just kill the grass that way. So there's a tip that I learned by mistake, and my husband was not happy that I killed our big old area of grass, but hey, I'm doing a video now about it. Hope that it can help others.